Hi, everybody. It is Julie Drake with Shine with Julie, and I am so excited to have somebody with us today, and that is Yolanda Tyler. She is a
Yes.
wife, a mom, and a glamma. I love that, of three. She worked in healthcare for 20 years, but had to retire at the age of 39 due to some health issues. She loves to travel and help educate people on entrepreneurship. So, welcome, Yolanda. I'm so excited that you're here with us today. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, thank you, Julie, for having me on. I'm just so excited to be on. My name is Yolanda, Coach Yolanda Tyler, and I reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I've lived here all my life, and I've worked in the healthcare industry, like she said, and I just love helping people, giving back, to people who are in need. So I just love doing that. I just love having fun. I love being around positive energy and positive people. Some of my favorite things to do here is I love pot vegetable potting on my deck. So I used to do plant my vegetables on my deck in pots. I love doing that. I love fruits, fresh
Ooh,
fruits
nice.
and vegetables. I love it. I didn't get a chance to do it this year because I was doing some traveling, but next year I'm back at it. I've done it for like 3, 4 years straight. I love to line dance. I love to dance. It just makes you feel happy and it
Yes.
takes you away from everything that's going on around you. And I love music. You see, I like to smile. I just love everything positive because life is so much going on. You
Yeah,
got to give away just a little bit.
I totally agree. So now we've talked about this. You love to travel, you're an entrepreneur, but you have not always been an entrepreneur. So tell us a little bit about your journey into entrepreneurship because you started that a little bit later in life, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So what brought you to that place to become an entrepreneur?
Okay. Well, back in 2013, I had a unexpected illness occurred. A doctor prescribed me the wrong medication, and it left me burned over 85% of my body, inside and out. So it left me total disabled at the age of 39. After spending 30 days in ICU and just getting back to health, getting back to a better health. I know I was not going to be able to do the things that I used to do, which is, work in the healthcare industry, which I so just dearly missed. I had to figure out what I wanted to do next in life.
Yeah.
And like 3 or 4 years later, well, 3 years later, 2018 is when I said, okay, yo, and I call myself yo.
Okay.
I said, you got to figure out what to do next. You're still young, you're still able to get out. You got to do some things different, because, I'm visually impaired.
Yeah.
But I can still live life,
Yeah.
and what I figured out, what I just sat down one day and I was like, what is the one thing that you always love to do, but you were not able to do it because you worked so much? And it's travel. Even growing up as a kid, my family, we traveled a lot, And my first time I got to get the travel bug was in 8th grade. And I had a chance to sing in Washington, D.C. I was
Aha.
part of the band and we sung on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
We did different performances and we got the tour, Washington, D.C. And I'm like starstruck, just like seeing a celebrity. I was so starstruck. I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. And this was back in elementary school.
13. Yeah.
So, coming back up to, 2013, I'm like, that's what I want to do. But I had to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And in that's what really drew me to travel. And doing some research and just figuring out, okay, how am I going to do this travel thing from home because I'm not able to get back out into the corporate world. And I was just doing some research on Facebook, and a friend of ours had just came off a cruise, and I reached out to them, was like, who was your travel agent? and her travel agent contacted me, and it was just on from there. It was just
I
that
love
was just
it.
the best thing ever.
So now, as you, your health journey, you were burned over 85% of your body. You lost some of your sight.
Mhm.
Um, was it a choice not to go back to work because you couldn't do the same job that you did before, and you really wanted to, or you had to find something from home? Is that where you were at the time,
Yeah,
just for
it
your
was.
safety and healing, and you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
It was more of my physician's choice not to return to work due to the safety and the healing, because I had so many open blisters
Mhm.
and the risk of infection, and that's the one biggest issue that all my doctors was just fighting just to keep me from not getting an infection.
Yeah.
So, and then my eyesight at the time, I was totally blind at one point in time, and I gradually got some of my sight back. And at the time, between 39 and probably 41, we had I had two cornea transplants. I had some other surgeries, amniotic membrane surgeries to give some nourishment to my eyes. So it was just a struggle, and they felt that it is not safe for you to go back to work due to your health. You're trying to keep,
Right.
myself healthy. And that's when I, turned to entrepreneurship, and that's the best thing ever. That's the best thing
Isn't that
ever.
amazing? I mean, God took this moment in time that, your family was wondering, are you going to make it? You were wondering, are you going to make it? And he, just flipped you over and said, start a new path. And what I loved about, meeting you and learning about your journey is that, just looking at it from an outsider point of view, is so many people you could have just given up. You could have given up and said, I'm not the person I was. I don't know what to do. But um, this song kept playing. I wanted to play it in the beginning and I didn't. Was you get knocked down, but you get back up again. And, I just kept hearing that song as I was preparing for this interview today. And you were like the epitome of that. You get knocked down, but you keep getting back up again. So now, the next question seems kind of, frivolous now. What challenges have you had? But, coming into entrepreneurship, you had to overcome a lot, but you came into this what, 3 years ago, 3 4 years ago, you've been an entrepreneur. So tell our audience about that part of your journey, from deciding to be an entrepreneur to today. What are some things that you've learned? Some you love to help entrepreneurs, so I'm curious about, what are some of those lessons you've learned, and how would you, counsel people through those?
Okay. Yeah, well, some of the lessons that I learned for myself is that I'm unstoppable.
Mhm.
Um, and that, the challenges that I faced in the beginning of owning, a travel business, being an entrepreneur, is one thing is I can't drive. It's not safe for me to drive. So how am I going to find my audience? And
Right.
that's the biggest thing being an entrepreneur. You need an audience in order to just for your business to grow. So I
Right.
turned to social media. I did my research. Social media is where you can find your audience. And I've learned so much, doing that. Also, the other challenges at the time, I had little of less vision that I have now. So how am I going to be able to do the things that I need to do on social media? So,
Right.
being part of the different organizations that help me, like Missouri Council for the Blind, American Council for the Blind, and National Federation for the Blind, they helped me and taught me and gave me the skills that I need, that I can do anything. So we just magnify the screen, something that has been on my computer, even at work. We just didn't think about it. Just magnify the screen and you can see the screen better. Dim the lights in your room, just change your light bulbs.
Mhm.
And, I was thinking, I was putting so much into it, and they were just the simplest things to change. And just those little things that I changed helped me overcome that struggle that I had of seeing the screen, doing
Right.
with the bright lights. even the keyboard, just making the letters on there bigger. And they got keyboards that you can purchase on Amazon, just stick right over your own laptop or computer. So
Oh
once
my
I figured out
gosh.
those three things, the sky
Yep.
was the limit. The sky was the
That's
limit.
awesome. So you
Yeah.
took those everyday things that we take for granted, and
Yes.
we do. We can see a screen, we can type on a regular keyboard, and those were obstacles in your path, but due to some quick resources, you were able to quickly overcome them. I love that.
Yes.
So, a lot of what I'm hearing from you is just, you see something that somebody might look at as a mountain, but you
Mhm.
look at as a pathway, and you
Yes.
just have to find the right path. So,
Yes.
what are some tools that you use to stay so positive in amidst the negativity that, I say obstacles, but there's also, like you mentioned, there's just a lot of negativity that
Oh
people feel right now. So, how do you stay so upbeat, positive? I
yeah.
love your energy.
Yeah. The one thing for me, and this is just for me, I have to stay close to God. I
Mhm.
have to stay, reading my Bible and encouraging myself. That is so important. But the main thing you have to do is you have to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah,
You have to surround yourself with some people that's going to push you, uplift you, and encourage you. And sometimes you need that support to say, okay, hey, Yolanda, you need to tweak this. You made a little mistake, but they're there to love on you. That is the main thing that keeps me going. My husband is my biggest fan, and my circle is so small.
mhm.
They really encourage me, they support me, and read some books that will uplift you. Say your
So what's your
affirmations.
favorite book? What's your
What's my
favorite
favorite
uplifting
book?
book? Yeah.
Um, hmm. Well, one of them is the Bible. I should say that. The
Hmm.
second
Yep.
one, I think it will be like the 21 Days of Leadership.
Okay.
Um, And I got so many. Another one I'm reading now is Leadership Playbook. And
Okay. I haven't heard
it,
of that one.
yeah, it's for, it's helping you to coach, but it also helps you to see who you are and where you need to improve.
Yeah.
If you're entrepreneur, helps you work on yourself so you'll be able to help, and mentor your teammates as
Sure.
well. So I really, really love that book.
And
But
what's your favorite affirmation? You were going to say that you like to say affirming statements. I love to
I
hear what people say.
I am strong. I am woman. I am unstoppable. I can do anything possible through Christ Jesus. Oh my God, I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am loved.
I love
I
that. Now, do you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, yo?
yes, I
I
do.
say,
You got it.
yo.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yes, I say, yo, you got this. You're unstoppable. You are encouraging. You are strong. You can do this. You
Mm,
are amazing. You are a believer in yourself. You just have to feed into yourself,
yeah.
and you have to be your number one fan.
Hmm.
Just fighting through everything that's going on in the world. I fight with depression, I fight with anxiety, because it's so much going on. I have to keep saying that to myself, keep myself motivated, and you have to.
Yeah.
I don't see any other way.
Now, I remember Joyce Meyer said this a long time ago, and I
Yes.
remember hearing her say that, she celebrates because at one point in her life, she'd have a 2 week meltdown, then it was a 2 day meltdown, then it was a. So, when you talk about, feelings of depression and anxiety, do you like give yourself a certain amount of time to wallow in that, and then that's it? That's all you get? Or how do you handle that?
I give myself a certain time to wallow in, and I love Joyce Meyer. She's here in St. Louis, and
Yeah,
I
I
follow
forgot
her
that
as
you're right in
well.
your backyard.
Yes, I follow her as well. And you have to, if you're fighting with anxiety or depression, you have to give yourself time to deal with it
Mhm.
and what's causing those issues. And but give yourself some days. Okay, whatever I'm going through, I'm gonna go through it for this many days.
Mhm.
And the max is me is a week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my max because, when I look at everything that I've been through, I don't have no reason to be down and depressed and feeling that way. But we all go through things in life and it happens, it's just part of life cycle. But you give yourself so many days to deal with that and you got to get out of it. You're like, yo, okay, shake this off, get out of it. Take your
Mhm.
dog for a walk around the block, turn on your favorite music, just I've been in my kitchen just dancing to all types of music. And next thing you know,
You feel better. You
I
feel
feel
better.
so much
Yeah.
better. I feel so much better. Even
Yeah.
watching just a crazy show on TV. And these are the things that I do. I hate Big Bang Theory went off. That's my favorite show.
It's got to be on some streaming platform somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it is. But those
Okay.
are just the things that help me. And
Yeah.
it even have you smiling. And it fills you. And you have to do that. You really do in order to fight the depression and anxiety, you know. But
Yeah,
those are
it's
things
your
that I
job
do.
to keep your cup full. And
Yes.
it
Yeah.
sounds like you have a lot of different resources. It's funny when you said that your circle is small,
Yeah.
filled with positive people. I read a book years ago. It's a super short book called The Energy Bus, I believe is the
Okay.
title of it. And essentially the premise of the book is, who are you allowing on your bus? Are you allowing that energy vampire to sit on your bus, the one that's going to suck all the positive energy out of you and out of the people around you? And the answer is no, you should not. You
Yeah.
simply need to protect your space. And I just love that about what you said. You've come to a place where you understand a small circle is not a bad thing.
Mhm.
I think so many people look and think small circle means something different.
Yeah.
And the small right circle is super powerful. And I love that you have that in, your husband and those around you. I love your glamma. Did you ask your your grandkids to call you glamma? How did that come about? I
I
love that
call
phrase.
myself a grandma. They call me Yo-Yo.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah, they are 7, 3, and 1. That is
Okay.
2
You're
boys
yo-yo
and
to
a girl.
them.
Yes, I'm Yo-Yo. Yes.
That's fun. And
Yes.
that's a fun toy. I mean, oh my gosh. I could never
Mhm.
yo-yo very well, I have to be honest.
I couldn't
My
either.
husband could, but I could not. Oh my gosh.
I
So
couldn't either.
tell us what you think your biggest accomplishment is to date.
To date is sharing my story and
Mhm.
being on this platform with you and the platform I was on Saturday. That is the biggest accomplishment ever. And the reason being is I was always afraid to share my story.
Mhm.
Be- because the world is different. When you say visually impaired and a
Mhm.
lot of people are not educated, they will say, oh, she can't do, you know, the
Right.
services that I want her to do. And,
Mhm.
but, and, that's just not being educated, on what, is happening to me. And some people are afraid to ask. So my biggest accomplishment is sharing my story. So now people will know my story, know what I've been through, and understand that hey, I'm able to still do anything that you do
Right.
except for drive.
That's right.
But that's coming.
That's coming. You're bound and determined to be independent, aren't you? I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And my other biggest accomplishment was in 2019, we had a convention in Florida. And I told my husband, I'm going by myself. And I did not have the vision that I have now. I had my cane. I had never been to Florida. I met my roommate, in our group, our travel group, never met her. And I said, I'm walking on faith. I am going, and I'm going to do this. And I did it.
That's
I
awesome.
did it and I did it. And a lot of people, I've met so many people there. And I shared just a little bit of my story because I didn't know how they would take me.
Mhm.
But I had a ball, and now either my husband is coming or he's not, but I'm going because I got 2 more trips. So, and I don't need the cane anymore, thank God. But it's
Wonderful.
always there. And
Yep.
Yeah, because
just
my
in
vision
case.
has improved. I gotta take. I need to take
Yeah,
it, even though my vision has improved. It could be those days, sitting in convention, those eyes get tired, and
right.
they need
And
that
it's
assist.
for your protection too.
Yeah,
I'm sure that, if I was in your shoes, I'm a little headstrong, independent, but, sometimes we have to do those things that protect us
yeah,
as well. So I want to make sure that people know how to find you. And so you are Yolanda Tyler on Facebook,
yes,
and you are a social media manager as well. So you help people promote their pages, right? Their business pages on
yes.
social media. Tell us a little bit about how you help people with that.
Okay. And it's pretty simple. You have a business page, you have a business that you want to promote. Maybe it's new, maybe it's old, maybe it has kind of downsized because of the pandemic. And if you have my services, I'll get with you, have a consult, see what your goal is for your business and how we can promote it and get it back to where it was if it kind of downsided. If you knew have a goal of where would you like your business to be? What type of audience you would like to attract to your business. I do content for your business as well on your business page and Instagram.
Okay.
Create digital flyers just to help bring that awareness to your business page.
Okay. So on Instagram, are you doing like carousels and stories and that type of thing for people, content around that? Or mostly, I know Instagram is so different than Facebook.
Mhm.
I know this much about Instagram. Um, so, what parts of Instagram do you help with then?
Well, the blessing about Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same person,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
they interact with one another. So when I schedule things on your business page, I can also schedule that same post on your Instagram. It's like
Okay.
two in one.
Wonderful.
So it'll go in your feed.
Mhm.
If you would like something to go in your Instagram story, they'll just let me know, and I can just put it in your Instagram story.
Okay. Got it. Well, fantastic. Yolanda, it's been such a pleasure getting to know
Thank
you both
you.
at we are both members of a personal development group in Peoria, Illinois. And it is actually a group that, because of the pandemic, opened up to really, the world.
Mhm.
And I love that about, that was something good that came out of a time like that, is that many organizations found ways to flip and be less of an in-person organization and more of a virtual organization. So it allows people like Yolanda in Missouri to stay connected and learn and pour into the organization as well. And that organization is called I've Decided.
Yes.
And it's for anybody really who's decided to do something big in their life, whether it's a personal goal or a business goal. So Yolanda, it's been a pleasure getting to know you.
Thank you.
And for all of you out there that feel like there's something for you to do and you just don't know how to get started, I hope you borrow Yolanda's inspiration here today, because holy cow, she had some obstacles in her path and she did not let that stop her. As she said, she's unstoppable, and we believe that you can be too. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
All right. Thank you for having me.